In this video, I'm going to be comparing a high tunnel to a caterpillar tunnel. Now, high tunnels look like what you see down in this corner, which are more permanent structures, and then here you can see all of the caterpillar tunnels. While they both will be growing tomatoes, I'll cover in the field and outdoors some of the comparisons to hopefully allow you to make an informed decision on which one is the correct one for your operation.
All right, welcome. Here we are comparing a traditional hoop house or high tunnel to a caterpillar tunnel. Now you'll notice both of these are growing tomatoes, so we have the same crop being grown. However, we can see the structures are quite different. Our goal with both of these is, of course, to shoulder the seasons. What does that mean? That means we're trying to get tomatoes a little bit earlier in the season when it's a little cooler out naturally. These will elevate the heat. Or also we could utilize these at the fall time. We get an extended harvest later in the season when it naturally gets colder outside. So while their goals may be the same, we can definitely see the structures are quite different. We're going to start over here with what's called a caterpillar tunnel. So this caterpillar tunnel is definitely much lower, so it's much easier to set up, and it's also a lot less of an investment. So you're looking at traditional, they could be metal, or in this case looks like PVC pipes here, and they're basically growing 2 rows. As far as height goes, they vary, of course, in size. We could see here's probably an average height here. We're probably talking, in that 7, 8 or so feet. And we're growing our double rows of tomatoes down the center. Now they get called a caterpillar tunnel because they kind of look like that caterpillar. While they're not very tall or very wide, they tend to be quite long. So that offers a lot of advantages in the sense that you're growing in traditional row crops. Perfect. You see the plastic. Plastic is basically anchored down and tied at the ends. You can see here it's bunched up, but it is elevated. We are in summer. We're at the end of July here in southern New England. It is quite warm today, quite warm, quite humid. So that's why we see everything elevated. So we are using this for rain protection. We're using this to eliminate heavy rain events. We're also using this to eliminate heavy winds coming on the plants. Now, having said that, we need to make sure we're anchoring things down. We can see definitely the ends are well anchored. The sides are also anchored. There is rope along here that's basically gone through in a crisscross pattern that'll help hold this plastic down. The last thing you want to do is have your caterpillar tunnel fly up and cause all sorts of issues of damage, and who knows what neighbors you might have. You don't want your caterpillar tunnel crossing your property lines. So very simple, very quick, relatively easy to set up. That is our traditional caterpillar tunnel, which is why they've gained popularity. However, we're probably more familiar with what's here on the other side is what's called a hoop house. So this hoop house is basically, looks like a greenhouse, but typically they are not heated. So they are getting their natural heat from the sun rays. Now we see a lot of similarities here in the sense that we still have to worry about, of course, ventilation. So while those sides simply get bunched up, here we actually have a bar here that rolls that plastic up. In addition, we see definitely more of a permanent fixture. We're seeing more metal utilized here. We're seeing a much taller and wider structure. So this is going to be greenhouse-like in the sense it's going to be more permanent. As a result, you see these bars here. These are wind bars. These are very important to support your end walls. We also see metal hoops. We see more of a Gothic style here, which has more of a peak that's going to shed snow because this will be up all year. Your caterpillar tunnels are going to be seasonal. While you may be growing in this more seasonal, maybe not in the dead of winter, it is a potential option for you there, which is why you see all this quote overbuiltness. Now, because of that, we need to make sure we're having everything anchored really well and everything is level. So over this long span, we see the issues with that. We need to make sure we're doing a lot of ground prep for that. But as a result, we're still growing our tomatoes in there, very similar to here, but we've got much more rows. And we have that earlier start because if you notice on the outside, we've got vents. Those can come on with some sort of temperature regulation. So we're able to go through and regulate the temperature in here a little bit more precisely than we are with a caterpillar tunnel. So while more expensive, they do offer a little more area. They do offer a little bit extended season grow compared to your traditional caterpillar tunnel. But as you can see here on this farm, utilizing both to get the benefits they can from both structures.